So any research process or any research project start with a research problem because you have certain research hypothesis or you have certain research concept, research idea or research question in mind. That becomes your research problem. That is your research question, research hypothesis, or your research idea or your research concept. That is your research problem. You always try to find out answer to your research problem, right? And when you find solution to your research problem, you interpret it. You interpret it whether it is true or false. Your hypothesis regarding your research question was true or false. That you find out. Now, what are different steps of formulating research problem? So first step in formulating research problem is reviewing the literature. The second step that there are different formulating steps involved for a research problem. Third is identifying variables and fourth is constructing hypothesis. We will go one by one in details of this, that is reviewing of the literature, formulating a research problem, identifying variables and constructing hypothesis. So the first aspect of formulating a research problem. So research problem, we are going to discuss under these 4 points. First is review of literature, second is formulating research problem, third is identifying variables, and fourth is constructing hypothesis. Now, first point is reviewing of the literature. So whenever we have research problem in mind, what comes first? Literature review. Because you have certain research problem, research concept, research question in mind, you need to find out what other investigators have done related to your research. What is contribution of other investigators related to your research? What is existing literature available in the science? What is existing data available in the science? What is the type of existing literature available? Okay, that becomes your review of literature. That is the purpose of doing review of literature. That is purpose of doing a literature survey or literature review. So literature review will give you this knowledge. So under review of literature, we will discuss these points. The first point is functions of literature review, how to carry out literature search, how to review the selected literature, how to develop the theoretical and conceptual framework, and how to write a literature review. So we will discuss review of literature under all these points. Coming to the first point, that is functions of the literature review in research. Now, all of you have done your masters. You have completed your masters and you have enrolled for the PhD program. You must have done some kind of project in your master's project, right? So even during those days, you must have gone to the libraries. You must have collected the research papers. You must have read the research articles, research journals, research books. Okay, research ideas related to your research problem, research concepts related to your research problem. And then you must have put it as a literature review in your thesis. Some of you prepared already prepared thesis related to your master's thesis. Okay, in that you have this this section, that is a literature review or review of literature. So under review of literature, you go through all the articles, all the books, all the probable articles, all the probable books which are available in the literature, in the scientific literature, in the library, in the e-library as well as physical library. And that findings you put it in under literature review. So what are different functions of literature review? It provides a theoretical background to your study. So any study should have a strong theoretical background. Without a theoretical background, you cannot move ahead. You should know the concept. You should know the different theories. You should know the different phenomena related to your research problem. Unless you are thorough with the different theories, phenomena related to your research problem, you may not able to move ahead with your research problem. You may not able to find out solution to your research problem. Okay, so it provides a theoretical background to your study. It helps you establish the links between what you are proposing to examine and what has already been studied. So I have already discussed. It establishes the link between what you are proposing, means what is your research problem, what you want to examine, and what others have examined, what others have studied. Other investigators, other scientific investigators, other people, other academicians, they must have studied something related to your research problem. They must have some aspects of your research problem which have been studied by them. And what you are proposing. So it will connect the link. you will get a proper link. This is my research problem. Other investigators have studied these areas of my research problem. They have not studied these particular areas of my research problem. So there is a link, what they have studied and what they have not studied. So I could easily find out the gap. I can see the gap. There is gap what is studied and what is not studied. And I can fill up that gap. I can fill up that body of knowledge. I can contribute that gap, or after filling the gap, I can contribute that to the existing knowledge of the literature or whatever knowledge is available in the literature. It enables you to show how your findings have contributed to existing body of knowledge in your profession. So whatever is existing body of knowledge available in your profession, you will add something new. You will add some new variable. You will add some new scientific information, new information to that existing body of knowledge in your profession. OK. It helps you to integrate your research findings into existing body of knowledge. So whatever is existing literature available, whatever existing body of knowledge is available, you will integrate your research findings. OK, that's research finding you will add to existing body of knowledge, right? It will bring clarity and focus to your research problem. Definitely, it is going to bring clarity and focus to my research problem. Suppose I want to find out efficacy of electric vehicles in reducing air pollutants, but I have so many air pollutants like PM 2.5 particles, PM 10 particles, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. There are so many air pollutants are available. After literature review, after studying the literature, after reading the journals, after reading the books, if I came to know that other investigators have extensively worked on PM10 particles, CO2 level, NO2 level, okay, all that have been studied extensively by the other investigator in context to the electric vehicles. But there are very few articles. There are few work which is done on the electric vehicle and PM 2.5 particle level. So that I will select as my primary outcome variable. So primary outcome variable will be PM 2.5 particle level. So I will try to find out after use of electric vehicle, what is the effect on PM 2.5 particle level rather than all air pollutants, because all other air pollutants have already extensively studied. The knowledge they have already poured in the literature, the existing body of knowledge. So whatever is the existing body of knowledge, that knowledge is poured by other investigator in terms of the levels of air pollutants like PM10, CO2, NO2, all that is extensively studied. But what is not studied? PM 2.5 particle level in relation to electric vehicles or use of after use of electric vehicles. So that will bring clarity and focus to my research problem. Now I will focus only on PM 2.5 particle level, or I will focus more on PM 2.5 particle level than other particle levels. Right, so that brings clarity what I need to study, how I need to carry forward my research. So it will give you clear idea. It will give focus to your study or focus to your research problem. Your research problem is vague. Initially my research problem was vague in terms of air pollutants, but now after studying the literature I am very much clear. I am focused on PM 2.5 particle. Initially I was thinking of studying PM 2. PM10, CO2, NO2, all the air pollutants. But after studying the literature, after reading the literature, I came to know that there is extensive work done on other air pollutants except PM 2.5. I will choose PM 2.5 as my primary outcome variable. And I will study the correlation between PM 2.5 particle level and the use of electric vehicles. Right? It will improve research methodology. Definitely. Your methodology will improve. Now see, it brought clarity in terms of which variables I need to study. If I have a clarity, if I have a focused objectives, then it will definitely include the research methodology. Research methodology is nothing but it starts with the research problem and ends with the analysis. So now I am very much clear. At this point of time, I am after studying the literature, I am clear that I need to study only PM 2.5 particle level in terms in context to the use of electric vehicles. So my idea is clear. My research methodology is clear. After analysis, I know what on what I need to focus. What is my research hypothesis, that is clear. So entire my research methodology is clear once I study the literature review or once I search the literature. It broaden your knowledge base in your research area. Definitely it is going to add some extra knowledge. See, whenever you have a research problem in mind, it is not necessary that you have entire knowledge related to that research problem. And generally it happens. We do not go extensively through literature search before that research problem. is in our mind. Once we have some research problem in mind, then we start searching. Then we start searching in the journals, in the books, on the internet related to that research problem, the literature or the information related to that literature, that research problem. But while studying the books, while studying the journals, while studying the articles on the internet, we come across a lot of new things related to our research problem. Okay, and that increases knowledge in your area of research. So that will definitely enhance your knowledge, other aspects of your research problem, right? It will strengthen your theoretical background and it will contextualize your findings. You know in what context you want to work. You know, now I know I just want to focus on PM 2.5 particle. I need not have to work in terms of PM 10 or CO2 or NO2. I just want to focus only on PM 2.5 particle. So it will contextualize your findings also. So overall, the function of literature review is to bring clarity, bring focus, give knowledge, increase knowledge. Okay, it will give you idea. It will help you to propose the hypothesis. So this is the best. Based on this knowledge, you can propose the hypothesis of your research problem, hypothesis of your research project. And that is the most important function of the literature review in research. Now, how to carry out literature search? We have seen the functions of literature review. Next question is how to carry out a literature search. Searching for the existing literature in your area of study. Right. So we will discuss it under these points. Reviewing the selected literature, developing a theoretical framework and developing a conceptual framework. One by one, we'll see how to carry out literature search. So searching first is searching the existing literature in your area of study. Now, all of you are aware, since you have completed your master's program, since you have completed your master's degree, you have already done thesis, you have already written thesis for your master's program, and you know how to do literature search. So there are three important sources of literature search. First important source is books, the classical books which are available in the library or which are available in the market. These are the books. The second source is journals. So in journals, the recent information, because every monthly they are either monthly issue or 3-month issue, 6-month issue, yearly issue. OK, so that way journals give you updated information, current information, recent information, what is happening today. OK, and the books, the already established facts are present in the books. OK, so you have one source, that is books. Second is journal, and third is internet. So on internet, so many websites are available related to research, Maybe it is Scholar or ResearchGate or so many similar research webs or research websites are available where you can find out articles or where you can read articles related to your research problem. Now, one by one, we'll go into details of this. First, that is books. All of us are aware that during our undergraduate program or postgraduate program, we have gone through a lot of books. OK, so books there are different kinds of books. The books which are conventional books, the books which give you advanced findings, or the books which are in the library. So whatever books which are available in the library, those are conventional books. And different theoretical aspects are written in the books related to your research problem, or different theories have been put forth in the books. So books is a solid data source where you can find the facts. Those are true facts. Those are reliable facts. Those are retested facts. Many times that have been retested. OK, those are established facts. So all these established, reliable, valid facts are present in the books. OK, and there are certain reference books. You must have seen the difference, like whenever we are in undergraduate program or postgraduate program, some books we purchase from the market, but some books are present in the library that may or may not be available in the market. And those are the reference books. Reference means the historical data may be available in those books. The basic theories are available in the books. The basic concepts are available in those books. And that becomes the source of books. Generally, such books are available in the library. So for us, like it's academic libraries, okay, college libraries, university libraries. So we have libraries related to our program, our academic program, our academic school. So in those schools, we have reference books as well as conventional books. Both kind of books are available. Now, whenever you go to library, how to search those books? See, the there are a lot of changes which happened over the last 10 years. 10 years back, or you can say 15 years back, the picture was totally different and the today picture was totally different. So maybe 10 to 15 years back, when people used to go to library, they have different catalogs, subject heading catalogs. And based on those subject heading catalogs, they need to find out different kinds of reference books or conventional books. Nowadays, you go to library, you just open the software in the library and you search in the software. So you will come to know in which rack, where that book is available, who have taken that book, how many books are currently available. All that data is with you currently because of there is advancement in the science. There is advancement in the IT industry or artificial intelligence, you can say. Because of this artificial intelligence, we come to know so many things. So many softwares are available. So many good library softwares are available. And the life is more easy as compared to previous. Previously also people used to have these catalogs and they were called as subject heading catalog. One of such subject heading catalogs is Library of Congress subject heading catalog, that is also called as LCSH catalog. Many of you, like during your master's program or undergraduate program, if you have gone through your classical libraries, you must have seen such catalogs which are available in the library. Okay. Then subject catalog. Subject catalog keywords. So there are certain keywords available. Now, in my case, what will be keyword? Air pollutants, PM 2.5 particle level, electric vehicles. So these are the keywords. So these are called as subject catalog keywords. And the subject catalog keywords are available. So you have basically subject headings, the catalog for different subject heading. Maybe you can have medicine or some subjects in medicine, some subjects in management, some subjects in engineering. Okay, that is your subject heading catalog. And then there are certain keyword based catalogs. Okay, you have your keywords. Like in my case, it is related to air pollutants. It is related to specifically to PM 2.5. I will focus only on PM 2.5 particle. So I will just search for this keyword PM 2.5 particle level or electric vehicle. So based on that, I will take out the books which are available on electric vehicles as well as the books available on PM 2.5 particle level and the books which are talking about the correlation between electric vehicles and air pollutants. So those books I will take out. So I have two keywords, that is electric vehicles and PM 2.5 particle level. Then there are certain review indices, book review indices. So big book review indices means here in this index you get the abstract, you get the review about that particular book. What is available in the book? So what is expected or what are different parts of the books or what information is given in the book. So based on that, you can just take out that book if required. Like suppose my area of interest is PM 2.5 particle level. My area of interest is PM 2.5 particle level in relation to electric vehicles. So in book review index, I will see whether in some portion they have given some correlation, whether they have given some analysis or they have given some information regarding electric vehicle and this PM 2.5 particle level. So that becomes book review index. Okay, so that index will give me information whether I have to get that book or not. It is just short review. In that short review, I will come to know what is given and what is not given. And based on that, I will decide whether I have to I have to get that book or not. Okay, that is book review index. Second, journals. So indices of journals like people, those who are from academic background, they must have seen such indices like ProQuest. Many libraries they procure ProQuest or humanities indices for social sciences. Or there are certain abstract articles like ERIC. ERIC is the abstract articles. Okay, so such abstract, you just get abstracts. Okay, of the journals. Journals means what? Journals means they are published by a publishers. For a journal, there are publishers. So different publishers publish different kinds of journals. Okay, their area of interest is different, and that area of interest becomes your part of journals. There may be subject specific journals. There may be interdisciplinary journals. There may be multidisciplinary journals. Okay, and some journals, rather than giving full articles, they give the abstract, or some indices they just give the abstract. You read the abstract and based on that abstract you decide whether you want to get that article or not, you want to read that journal or not. Suppose based on the abstract, if I came to know that in this journal with this in this particular article the correlation between electric vehicle and air pollutant is described, so what I will do, I will take out that journal, take out that issue and just read that article, or I will xerox this article, I will photocopy that article, or I will download that article. Okay, so These are the abstract. This is the importance of abstract. Just by seeing the abstract, you can decide whether you want to read full article or not, right? So that is the abstract of the articles. And there are so many citation indices or indexing databases are available. So this is UGC Care. UGC has given this database, and that is called as UGC Care. All of you can register for UGC Care. So it's a free registration, and you will come to know what different journals are available related to your subject. So all of you can go, just type UGC Care in Google and or any search engine. You will get link for UGC Care, and based on your username, you have to create your own password. You have to register for UGC Care. Once you enter into UGC Care, there are different filters available, and you select your filters. Suppose one filter is management. Under management, there is HR. Or if you put another filter that medicine, under medicine you want to study pediatrics, or under physiotherapy you want to study cardiopulmonary physiotherapy. So that way you have to apply the filters, and you see what kind of journals are available in this particular indexing databases, and then under those what kind of articles are published. So by filters you can see how many articles are published, how many issues are present, how many volumes are present, how many article per issue are published, what kind of articles are published. Okay, whether article of my research problem is published in particular area, or there is any specific issue. There are certain specific, sometimes what happens, there are certain specific issue and certain research ideas or research concepts. Okay, so if any specific issue is published related to my research problem, that is electric vehicles and air pollutants, if such issue is available, then in that issue I will get full information in one go, right? So you can apply these filters and you can find out journals related to your research problem. One more interesting database is Scopus. So even in Scopus, you can register yourself, but you cannot see entire content. You can only see the titles and some abstract in the Scopus. Okay, full articles, unless you subscribe, full articles are not available. And this is applicable for Web of Science and PubMed as well. So these are also indexing databases like Scopus, Web of Science, and PubMed. All these are the indexing databases. And in these indexing databases, you will find you journals of your interest, journals of your field, and all the indexing databases somewhat work on the similar filters. So you can apply broad filter, then you can apply subject specific filter, then you can apply concept specific filters. Okay, and you can see how many articles, how many books, how many journals are, so not books, but journals are available related to your research problem. And among those journals, what are your area of interest, or whether whatever is your area of research, whether the information that related to that area of research is available or not. And it is necessary nowadays, it is necessary for all of you to publish your PhD research work in these databases, which are indexed in UGC Care, Scopus, Web of Science, and PubMed. Okay, it is mandatory for all of you. Before you go for final Viva hours, it is mandatory for all PhD scholars to publish your research work in these journals, which are indexed in these databases, right? So this is all about journal. Internet, as you know, you just go to internet and you have research forums. Certain research forums are available on social platforms or social media, ResearchGate, LinkedIn. So there are so many forums are available on the internet. Google Scholar is there, on Yahoo. There are such forums are available from where you can find out the work. Like I can just put electric vehicles and the PM 2.5 particle maybe in the Google Scholar or ResearchGate, and I will see the articles in those gates. Okay, whatever number of articles are available, those articles will be flashed on my internet or my computer or laptop based on this internet source. So basically we have three sources, and purpose of these three sources is definitely different. Books will give you classical knowledge. Okay, books will be reference books or conventional books. Books will give you established facts. Books will give you valid facts. Books will give you retested facts, reliable fact. Okay, so reliability and validity of the facts which are published in the books is tested repeatedly. Okay, and those are conventional or established facts. So if you want to read the established facts related to your research, best way is to go to the books, see what are basic theories are available in the book, different concepts which are available related to your research problem in those books. Okay, if you want to study recent ideas, recent concept, recent knowledge, all that you will get in the journals. So in that case, if you want to work on, or if you want to have a recent knowledge related to your research problem, then just go to the journals, because generally books have their the books are republished or reprinted after maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Some books are reprinted after 10 years. Okay, re-edited after 5 to 10 years. So whatever information is that is published 5 years back or 6 years back. So old information is generally available in the books. But if you want to see the recent information, if you want to study the recent information, journals are the best sources. Okay. And in journals, you have so many databases which are available. And from those databases, you can take out what is you can work on your area of interest, your area of work, your area of research problem or your research concept. And internet, it's an open source. You can just type the keywords and you will get information from different research gates. Okay, different gates which are available or different scientific platforms. So there are so many scientific platforms which are available on the internet. From that, you will see what kind of articles have been published, what kind of books have been published, what kind of communications have been published related to your research problem. All that you will find out in these internet sources. So this was the searching for the existing literature. So in these three sources, you have to search your existing literature. Now the era has changed, the world has changed. You have everything on your mobile, you have everything on your laptop, maybe tab, iPad, everything is available on your it's at fingertip. You have to just type it. You have to just put your username, password, and everything is available. So now the electronic databases are available for everything. You see, most now the books are also converting as a electronic databases, or books are available in certain electronic databases. Journals are already available in the electronic databases. Most of the journals, or you can see say all the journals are available in the electronic databases. Okay, and some journals have their printed equivalents, but some journals currently have stopped the printed equivalents. They have only online or electronic databases, right? So these are the names of electronic databases where you will get particular information, and here printed equivalent. So if you see ABI Inform, there is no printed equivalent. So for a few, the printed equivalents are available, and for few, the printed equivalents are not available. And the future, most of areas, the printed equivalent may not be available because all the information is now on the web. It's on the fingertip. It's on the smart devices, all kind of smart devices at your fingertip. So you can access from anywhere, anytime, if you have access to those internet or user and password, or if you're subscribed that information. Now, first such information database is ABI or Inform. So this database is used by the management people, those people who are from business background or business management background. So ABI Inform database is useful for them. So those who are from management background, just they can go and explore this ABI Inform platform. Okay. ERIC database is basically available for those people who are from an educational background, all educational background. Educational means the education subject. So those who are from educational background, they need to go to this ERIC database. Those who are from health science background, they can read Healthom database. So this Healthom database will provide references related to all health topics, right? Health topics related to medical, dental, Ayurveda, physiotherapy. So most of the data, health related sciences are covered. Medline is again database which covers the medical problems, and that gives you idea about the research problems or research journals related to medical field. Sinhal database is the database for nursing. So those who are from nursing background in this class, they can just go to the Sinhal database and find out. Those who are from engineering background, for them there is engineering village database. Okay, so all these databases are these are basically electronic databases. These are available online. You can access from your computer. You can access from your mobile also, or any smart device. You can access it, these databases. You need not have to go to the library and you have to sit. Definitely, if you there are different versions, like some are paid, some are free, partly paid. So those kind of things are available and you can just explore. If something is paid and if it is subscribed by your library, you go to the library, use libraries, maybe computer or laptop, and then access the required material. Okay, but available, the thing, most of the things are nowadays available on the electronic databases. So this was about our part of review of literature. So we done with the review of literature, and review of literature was the first part when we were discussing about research problem, right? So when we discuss research problem, the first part is review of literature. The second part of your research problem is formulating a research problem. Now we want to formulate a research problem. What we have done, we have a research problem in our maybe brain, or we have a research problem which is put on paper. We studied the literature. We went to the library. We went to e-library. We went to offline library. We accessed their databases. We searched databases. We read the books. We read the reference books. We studied the different theories. And after this, we collected the information. We got the knowledge. Now this knowledge we will apply for what? For formulating a research problem. Because my research problem previously, it was a crude idea. It was a raw idea. I was not aware what other people have done, what other people have studied, what other people have related to that research problem in the literature. Right. So after studying the literature, I came to know what others have done, what other investigators have studied, what other investigators have not studied. Now that information I have with me. So the research problem which was crude before this review of literature, now I need to refine that research problem. So formulating a research problem means what? Refining your research problem, refining your research concept, refining your research idea based on the literature review. Because from literature review, you got certain information, you got certain good information related to your research problem. You have clear ideas now. You have better ideas now. You have sound theoretical background now. So based on this sound theoretical background, you have to reformulate your research problem. You have to reformulate your crude research problem. You have to refine your crude research problem. And that is the formulating research problem. Now this formulating research problem, we will discuss under these points. That is importance of formulating research problem, sources of research problems, consideration in selecting research problems, specific issues to consider when formulating research problem in qualitative research, steps in formulating research problems, how to formulate research objective, and the importance of establishing operational definitions. So under these headings, we will discuss the formulating a research problem. So first, what is the importance of formulating a research problem? The importance is that initially when we have research idea in mind, whenever we have research problem in mind, whenever we have research question in mind, that is the crude idea. That is not refined idea. That is not fully refined. It is just a crude idea, right? It is unclear idea. There is no clarity. There is no complete clarity about my research problem, about my research question. I have a research question in mind. To get the clarity, I went to library, I studied the books, I studied the journals, I studied all databases. And from that, now I have a clear idea. I have a clear idea about what others have done and what others have not done. So I will reconsider my problem. In my case, before going to library, what I was thinking, I will study the correlation between electric vehicles and air pollutants. That was my crude idea. But after going to library, after studying the books, after reading the journals, after going through electronic databases, I came to know that there was a lot of work which was done by other investigator in context to electric vehicles and air pollutants, specifically PM10 particles, CO2, NO2. But there is little work or the less amount of work is done in relation to electric vehicles and PM2.5 particle level. So what I will do, I will refine my work. I will refine the definition. I will reconsider it as the correlation. Now I will study the correlation between electric vehicles and PM2.5 particle level. Whether there is any correlation between use of electric vehicles and PM2.5 particle or not. That I will study now. Right? Rather than studying all other. All other means PM10, CO2, NO2, that I need not have to study now. Because from the literature source I came to know. So that is the importance of formulating. Now I will formulate the research problem. I will rework on research problem. Previously, as a crude idea, I want to study all the air pollutants. But after studying the literature, I now want to study only PM2.5 particle level. I don't want to study other air pollutants related to or levels of air pollutants in relation to the electric vehicles. Right? That was the importance of formulating a research problem. Second is sources of research problem. Now we are going to next slide. That is sources of research problem. What are different sources of research problem? There are only two aspects of study all the time. One is study population and subject area. So you take any study, your study will have either study population and the subject areas. So what is your study population? All the people. Now, when I wanted to study the use of mask and the percentage of population which got infected with the corona, that correlation I wanted to study. So what I did, I went to the people who are using mask and I went to the people who are not using mask, or who are the population of my study, What was my study population? My study population was the people who are using mask and the people who are not using mask. Right. So that was that was my study population. That was source of my research problem. So how did I find source? Source is from the people. People are transmitting an infection because they are either using mask or they are not using mask. There are factors which are among the people, among the population, among the community. So I went to community and I found out the answers. Okay, so that is the source of research problem. So in my first example, what is the research problem? What is the research? What is the source? Study population. People are the source. People are the source for transmission of infection. People are the source because they are not using mask. People are the source because they are not using social distancing. People are the source because they are not using sanitizers. So here the people is the source, community is the source, population is the source. So I went to population and collected the data. So that population may be individuals, organizations, groups or communities. In my case, it is entire India, entire humanity, entire world, the population from entire world. But I cannot study entire population of the world. So I will select one area or particular areas and I will collect the data. So here people are my study population or people are my source of research problem. So what they have provided, they provide you with the required information or you collect information from them or about them. So what I collect the information about how many are using mask, how many are not using mask. Among those who are using mask, how many got infection, how many didn't get infection. And among them who are not using mask, how many got infected and how many didn't get infection. So that I found. So source of my research problem in my first research problem or first research question was study population or the people. There are certain other sources of research problem, which are the subject areas like problems, program and phenomenon. So there are certain problems or situations or associations. OK, now in my second example, if you see what is the situation, I want to study the relationship or correlation between use of electric vehicles and PM 2.5 particle level or air pollutants. So that is the situation. That is the phenomenon. I want to study that situation. I want to study that phenomenon. So that is my subject area. That is my source of research problem. So that problem is my or that subject area is the research problem. So it may be issue, it may be situation, it may be association. Okay. Now second source in subject area is program. Okay, so first was issues, situations, associations. I studied the association between electric vehicle and the PM 2.5 particle level or association between electric vehicle and air pollutants. Needs. Okay. Then program is contents, structure, how they have a product. They want to see the consumer satisfaction regarding their product. So there is a company. They want to find out the consumer satisfaction. Their product is in the market for last 2 years. They need to find out there are other competitor products in the market. They need to find out consumer satisfaction related to their product in comparison to other products in the market which are available. So they will launch a program. They will launch a program in the form of studying it. OK, studying it means they will prepare a questionnaire. They will form a research team. OK, they will have an analyst or they will have researchers. Will go to the community. Will go to the people who are using their product and they will ask their level of satisfaction. They will prepare the questionnaire. They will formulate the questions. They will take the questions, answer. They will take the information and they will analyze it. How many people are satisfied or what improvement is required in comparison to other products. OK, so that is the program. Phenomenon, cause and effect. Again, my study can be under this cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect means use of electric vehicle is associated with the reduction in the levels of air pollutants, reduction in the levels of PM 2.5 particle level. So that is a cause and effect correlationship, or that is a relationship between cause and effect, right? So that is a phenomenon. Phenomenon means what? You study cause and effect relationship. So that is the source of my research problem. These all are sources of your research problem. People, problems, programs, phenomenon, all these, they are sources of your research problem. And from these sources, you will collect the data so that you will organize, analyze the data and find out the answer to your research question. And you will interpret it to prove or disprove your hypothesis. OK, so that is about sources of research problem. Considerations in selecting a research problem. So basically it's whenever you select a research problem or whenever select a research topic, what consideration should be given? First is interest. Interest means topic should be of your interest and not someone else's interest. If you are working on a research topic of someone else's interest, you will not give that 100%. But you have certain research concept or research idea in mind that is of your interest, you will give 100% of your efforts. So interest is important. Whatever is interesting to you, you select those areas. Generally, at this point of time, you are totally you are totally clear about your areas because you are specialized in your area. So most of people who are admitted here, they are specialized in their particular field. So basically they have their interest and hence they conduct the research work. Magnitude. What is the magnitude? Magnitude of that problem. Suppose there are 10,000 population. Out of 10,000, 9,000 people are not using mask and only 1,000 people are using mask. Then it's a large magnitude. Large magnitude means what? Means lot of people, lot of population is not using mask. So you need to have a program. You need to study it. You need to launch a program so that people will use the mask or at least you can counsel them for using the mask. So you should have a magnitude. What is the magnitude? If it is of low magnitude and it is not going to helpful, it is not going to helpful for community, it is not going for helpful for a scientific community or general community, then it may not be useful. Measurement of concept. So whatever concept you have, that should be measurable. Measurable means what? What is my concept in terms of electric vehicles? I want to see whether after use of electric vehicles, the levels of air pollutants are going down or not. I have to measure something. What I need to measure? I need to measure the levels of air pollutants. Okay, so I should have some way of measuring the level of air pollutants. If I have proposed the topic and the measurement concepts are not available, so whatever I want to measure, whatever things related to primary outcome variable I want to present, if it is not available, then you are not going to go ahead or it is difficult for you to go ahead with your topic. So the measurement of concept should be there. See, generally we have research problem or research idea in mind. That is just a concept. That is a crude idea. You require certain measurable parameters. Those are called as variable. Variable will be a separate topic. But whenever you have a research concept in mind, you should have certain measurable parameters to prove it, to prove your concept. Now my concept is that electric vehicles will help to reduce air pollutant. So it is a concept that electric vehicles will help to reduce air pollutants. I should have certain variables that I will be able to measure. And after measuring those levels, I will be able to prove that after use of electric vehicles, these levels are going down or going up. Based on that, I can prove my hypothesis. So I have certain measurable parameters and those measurable parameters are essential when you take a research problem. If I don't have those measurable parameters, how will you prove it? Okay, unless you have measurable parameters, variables, you may not be able to prove it. Level of expertise. This also matters because suppose you create or you select a topic or research problem where you have little expertise, then you are dependent on someone else who is expert in that area. So that person may not be available, that person may be busy, or there are multiple reasons where your research might hamper. So generally select a topic where you have some expertise related to your research problem. What is your objectives? Okay, so it should be relevant to your previous or future research work. Availability of the data. Availability of the data in terms of the existing literature. There should be some data available related to your research problem. It is not mandatory that you cannot do the innovations or the data or the work where the little data is available. But at least there should be some research ideas, some research concept should be available related to your research problem. So that will help you. That will help you to explore or that will help you to understand the research problem in better way from 360-degree angles, because that will form a strong theoretical framework for your research problems. And ethical issues. Now, those who are from medical background, those who are from health science background, the ethical issues will arise if you are working on a patients. So whenever you are working on humans rather than patients, we can say humans. Whenever you are taking some information, whenever you have some interventions on humans, it is mandatory to take ethical committee permissions. So those projects where humans are involved, it is mandatory to submit those projects to the ethics committee. So all the universities, all the academic institutions, they have independent ethics committee. So they monitor ethical issues related to your project. whether any ethical issue is present or not, whether ethically it is correct or not. So all that is taken care by these ethical committees, which are available at all the academic institutions. So whenever you select a research problem, you should have all these points in mind. So first is interest. It should be of your interest. It should have some magnitude, good magnitude, so that you will be able to add something new to the existing body of knowledge. You should be able to measure that concept, whatever concept or research problem you have, you should be able to measure that. OK. You should have certain level of expertise. If you are expert in that area, definitely you have your completed your masters and you must be expert in your area. So at least there should be some expertise or level of expertise related to your research problem. Relevance, it should be relevant to your research, previous research work, or it should be relevant to your this thing work. OK. The data should be available in the literature related to your research problem, and that will give you theoretical, strong theoretical background. And again, ethical issues you need to see whether if you are working on some group which are a sensitive group like the newborn people, newborn babies, or working on school going kids, it's a ethical issue because it's a sensitive group, or the women who are pregnant, that is ethical issue. You are working on a sensitive group. OK, you might harm because of your research, you might harm these people, you might harm the humans, and it is not acceptable in research. You cannot conduct a research which is harmful to the human beings. OK, so that is taken care by ethics committee. So ethics committee will check all the ethical aspect, whether your project is ethically correct or not. That is taken care by your ethics committee. So consider after considerations, the next part is steps in formulating a research problem. OK, so we have seen the different aspects of a research problem. We had a research problem, that is good idea. We studied the literature. After studying the literature, we came to know certain things about my research problem. So I will modify it. I will formulate my research problem. I will reformulate my research problem. I will refine my research problem. After refining my research problem, what I will do, I will see different aspects. OK, I will use different considerations related to research problem. These considerations, OK, all these considerations. And after seeing these considerations, I will formulate a research problem. Finally, I will prepare final of my research problem. So how to formulate a research problem with these steps? OK, step 1 to 7 steps. First is identify a broad field or subject area of your interest. So whatever is your subject area, whatever is your subject topic, whatever is your subject research question, it should be of your interest. Select that in step 1. Dissect the broad area into sub areas. Now, what was my subject area? I wanted to study vehicles and air pollutants, or electric vehicles and air pollutants. So it was a broad concept. It was a broad or crude idea. OK, so I have selected in step 1. Second is step 2, that is dissect the broad area into sub areas. Sub areas means what? There are electric vehicles that will help to reduce air pollutants, but there are different types of air pollutants are available in the market. Sorry, not market, which are eliminated by these vehicles. And these are PM 2.5 particles. These are PM 10 particles, CO2, NO2. So all these are air pollutants which are eliminated by petrol and diesel vehicles. And among vehicles also there are different types: petrol vehicles, diesel vehicles, CNG vehicles, electric vehicles, hydrogen vehicles, solar vehicles. So there are so many vehicles which are in the market. Among them, which I want to select. So initially, what was broad topic? Vehicles and PM 2.5 part, or vehicles and air pollutants. Now, after studying the literature, or in step 2, I will dissect it. I will confine only to among vehicles. I will select electric vehicles. I have so many types of vehicles available, but among them I will select electric vehicles, and I have so many air pollutants available. Among them I will select PM 2.5 particles. So after dissect, I will dissect it. And in step 3, I will select what is of most interest to you. So what is more of most interest to me? Electric vehicle and PM 2.5 particle level. So among vehicles, among so many vehicles, petrol, diesel, electric, CNG, hydrogen, solar vehicles, I selected electric vehicle. And among air pollutants, PM 2. PM 10, SCO2, NO2, I selected PM 2.5 particles, right? Then in step 4, I will raise the research question. So I have now two variables in hand. First is vehicle, that is electric vehicle, and second is air pollutant, that is PM 2.5 particle. I will raise a research question. What will be my research question? My research question will be that the electric vehicles will be helpful to reduce the air pollutants, or whether the electric vehicles will be helpful to reduce air pollutants or not, or rather than whether electric vehicles will be helpful to reduce the levels of air pollutants PM 2.5 particle level in the environment. That is my research question. right? After dissecting the broad area into smaller things, I came to the conclusion of research question that my research question is whether after use of electric vehicles, the PM 2.5 particle level will go down or not. That is my research question. Based on research question, I will formulate objective. What is my objective? My objective is very straight. I want to study the levels of air pollutant labeled as PM 2.5 particle level after use of electric vehicle. So that is my objective. You may have multiple objective, or you may have primary objective and secondary objectives, or you can have a single objective, or you can have aim and objective, or you can have aims and multiple objectives. You can put it anyway. There is no problem. But in formulating formulate objectives, you have certain objective based on your research question. So research question will guide you for the objective. In my case, I need not have to put multiple objectives. If I am studying electric vehicles in context to multiple, you can say air pollutants, then I can have primary and secondary objective. I will give you example. Suppose I want to study electric vehicles and air pollutants, but my primary air pollutant of study is PM 2.5 particle. So what will be my primary objective? My primary objective is to check the efficacy of electric vehicles in reducing PM 2.5 particle level. And my secondary objective will be to check the efficacy of electric vehicles in reducing PM10 levels, CO2 level and NO2 levels. Okay, so I have one primary objective and three secondary objectives. That way you can formulate objective. That way you can put the objective. You assess your objective. You see your objective whether they are going rightly to the title of your project. Okay, so it should go rightly with your research problem and objective. So objective should reflect your research problem, or objective should reflect the research question. Objective, after fulfilling the objective, you should be able to get the question to your research problem. So finally, after achieving objectives or after achieving the answer to your objective, you should be able to find the answer to your research question, research problem. And that is the objective. That is entire aim of this research process. Okay, of doing the research, right? So formulation of objective and assessing objectives. Now you double check everything. You double check your research problem. You see the area of your interest, dissect the area. Okay, all things you double check and you finalize your research problem. So what does research problem contains? Research problem contains a crude idea, crude concept. That crude concept you dissect, that is a broad area. So that broad area you dissect into smaller area, a specific area. You have a specific zone, you have a focus zone, and that focus zone you put it as a research question or you put it as a research objective. Right. So based on a particular area, you will have research questions or research objectives. You will assess your research objective, whether those are correct or wrong, or if anything is missing, or if you want to add some objective, if you want to take primary objective, secondary objective, the way you want to do it. So you will assess and reassess your objective. You will double check and you will formulate your research problem.